Hey everyone! Think about when you walk around in the real world. You probably have a sense of what information about yourself you share with others and what you keep private. The internet is similar. Every time you go online, your computer has a unique address called an IP address. This address helps websites know who's visiting and where they're roughly located. But just like in the real world, you might not want everyone knowing all your online activities. Websites, advertisers, and even people with bad intentions can sometimes track what you do online using your IP address. They can see what you like to buy, what kind of information you search for, and even where you are. This constant tracking can feel a bit like someone is always looking over your shoulder, and it can even lead to some unwanted things like very targeted ads or, in more serious cases, security problems. That's why it's important to understand how to keep some of your online life private. There are tools out there that can help you control what information you share when you're online. Today, we're going to explore two of the most common ones: VPNs, virtual private networks, and proxies. Both of these tools act like a shield between you and the internet, helping to hide your original IP address and making it harder for others to follow your digital steps. However, they work in different ways and offer different levels of privacy and security. Over the next few chapters, we'll break down how each of these tools works in simple terms, what they're good at, and where they might fall short. Our goal is to help you understand which one might be the best choice for you to feel more secure and private when you're online. So, let's get started and learn how to take a little more control over your online footprint. Let's start by understanding the simpler of our two tools, the proxy server. Imagine you're playing hide-and-seek online. A proxy server is like asking someone else to go look for information on the internet for you, using their online disguise. When you use a proxy, your request to visit a website first goes to the proxy server. This server then goes to the website on your behalf, using its own IP address instead of yours. So, the website sees the proxy's online address, not your real one. This can be useful for doing some basic things, like getting around simple blocks that some websites put in place based on your location. For example, if a video is only available in another country, connecting through a proxy server in that country might let you watch it. Think of it like using a different post office box to receive mail. The sender knows the post office's address, but not necessarily your exact home address. However, it's really important to know that most proxy servers don't do a very good job of keeping your actual information secret. They usually don't scramble your data, which means that what you're doing online could still be visible to the proxy server itself, and maybe even to others who are looking. It's like your friend who's picking up the mail for you is telling everyone what kind of letters you're getting. Also, proxies often only work for your web browser. Other apps on your computer might still connect to the internet directly, showing your real online address. So, while a proxy can offer a basic way to hide your location online, it doesn't give you strong privacy or security for everything you do. For anything important or sensitive, you'll likely need something more robust. Now, let's explore the more powerful tool for online privacy and security, the VPN, or virtual private network. Think of a VPN as creating a secret, protected tunnel for all your online activities. When you use a VPN, it not only hides your original IP address by using the VPN server's address instead, but it also does something really important. It encrypts all the information that travels through this tunnel. Encryption is like scrambling your data into a secret code that only someone with the right key can understand. So, when you're using a VPN, everything you do online, browsing websites, sending emails, using apps, gets put into this secret code as it travels through the internet. This means that even if someone tries to snoop on your connection, all they'll see is a jumbled mess of characters that they can't easily read. It's like having a private, armored car for all your online data. Once your encrypted information reaches the VPN server, it gets unscrambled and sent on to the website you want to visit. When the website sends information back, the VPN server encrypts it again before sending it back to your computer through the secure tunnel. This end-to-end encryption is what makes VPNs so much better for privacy and security than basic proxies. It protects everything you do online, not just your web browsing, and it keeps your information safe from hackers, your internet company, and anyone else who might be trying to see what you're up to. Plus, good VPN companies often have no-logs policies, meaning they don't keep track of what you do while using their service. So, a VPN provides a secure and private way to connect to the internet for all your needs. We keep talking about encryption with VPNs, and that's because it's the real superpower behind their privacy and security. Imagine you have a diary filled with your private thoughts. If you just leave it lying around, anyone can pick it up and read it. But if you write it in a secret code that only you know, then even if someone finds your diary, they won't be able to understand what it says. That's the basic idea behind encryption for your online data. When you use a VPN, it takes all the information you send and receive, from the websites you visit to the messages you type, and scrambles it using special mathematical recipes called encryption algorithms. These algorithms turn your readable data into a jumbled mess of characters that looks like complete nonsense to anyone who doesn't have the secret key to unscramble it. Think of it like a really complicated puzzle. Only the person with the right set of instructions, the decryption key, can put the pieces back together to see the original picture. VPNs use very strong and complex encryption methods that are incredibly difficult for even powerful computers to break. This means that when your data travels through the VPN secure tunnel, it's virtually impossible for anyone who might be trying to intercept it, like hackers on public Wi-Fi or your internet company, to understand what it is. Only your computer and the VPN server have the keys to lock and unlock the data. This makes encryption the backbone of online privacy when using a VPN. It's what keeps your personal information safe, your browsing history private, and your online communications secure from unwanted eyes. When you choose a VPN, making sure they use strong and up-to-date encryption is one of the most important things to look for. When you're thinking about using a VPN or a proxy to protect your privacy, it's also really important to consider what information these services themselves might be keeping. This is where logging policies come in. A logging policy is basically a statement from the VPN or proxy company about what data they collect and store about your use of their service. If you're using a tool to become more private online, you probably don't want that tool keeping a detailed record of everything you do, right? The best VPNs for privacy will have a no-logs policy. This means they clearly state that they do not track or store any information that could link your online activity back to you. This includes things like the websites you visit, the files you download, your actual IP address, the IP address of the VPN server you connect to, when you connect, and how much data you use. If a VPN has a true no-logs policy, it means that even if someone asked them for information about what you did online, they wouldn't have any to give. However, not all VPNs and many proxies have such strict policies. Some might keep certain types of logs, like when you connect and how much data you use, but not the specific websites you visit. Others, especially free proxies, might keep very detailed logs, including the websites you browse and your original IP address. This information could potentially be shared with other companies, or even be used for things you wouldn't want. So, when you're choosing a VPN or proxy, it's a really good idea to read their logging policy carefully. Look for VPNs that clearly state they have a no-logs policy, and, if possible, see if they've had their policy checked by an independent security company. Understanding what your privacy tool knows about you is a key part of making sure you're actually getting the privacy you're looking for. We've now learned a lot about how proxies and VPNs work, what makes them different, and what they can and can't do for your online privacy and security. So, how do you decide which one is right for you? If your main goal is to have strong privacy and security for everything you do online, especially when you're using public Wi-Fi or dealing with sensitive information like banking or personal emails, then a VPN is definitely the better choice. The encrypted tunnel that a VPN creates protects all your data and hides your real online address, making it much harder for anyone to snoop on you. Look for VPN companies that have a clear no-logs policy and use strong encryption. While a VPN might sometimes slightly slow down your internet speed because of the extra steps involved in encrypting and routing your traffic, the added security and privacy are usually worth it for most people. On the other hand, if you just need to do something very basic, like change your apparent location to watch a video that's blocked in your country, and you're not really worried about keeping your information super secure, then a proxy might be a simpler option. But remember that proxies usually don't encrypt your data, so your online activities aren't really private. Also, free proxies can be risky because they might track what you do or even contain malware. Think of it this way. A proxy is like putting on a basic disguise, while a VPN is like having a full suit of armor and a secret passage. For real online privacy and security, especially in today's world, a VPN offers much more protection. Consider what you need to protect yourself from and choose the tool that gives you the right level of security and privacy for your online activities. By understanding the differences between proxies and VPNs, you can make an informed decision and take better control of your online experience.